Brunei is a small and fascinating country in Southern Asia that has a lot to offer. It is officially known as the Nation of Brunei, the abode of peace, and is a place where tradition, modernity, and natural beauty come together. Brunei has a population of around 500,000 people and has a rich history and cultural heritage. The people of Brunei take pride in their Malay traditions, Islamic value, and the influence of their royal lineage. They hold on to their custom and have a strong sense of identity. Besides its cultural heritage, Brunei has stunning landscape, including beautiful rainforests and pristine coastline. The country is a home to a diverse range of plants and animals, making it paradise for nature lovers and adventurers. You will find landmarks like the magnificent Sultan Omar Al Saifuddin Mosque and the Grand Istana Nurul Iman Palace, which show the deep connection between Brunei faith and its royal history. Despite being small, Brunei has achieved great things in education, healthcare, and infrastructure, providing a good quality of life for its people. The country is committed to sustainability and protecting the environment. It takes steps to conserve forests and promote renewable energy.
Historical of Brunei. On 15th century to 17th century, it was the heyday of the Brunei Empire. It was ruled by Sultan Bolkiah in 1485 to 1524, then Sultan Muhammad Hassan in 1582 to 1598. After the reign of Sultan Hassan, Brunei experienced a period of decline caused by internal unrest. It occurred because of the power struggle between the royal heirs and the influence of the European colonial powers. On 1839, an English traveller named James Brooks arrived in Borneo and helped the Sultan subdue an internal rebellion. On 1888, Brunei became a state under the protection of British government by maintaining its domestic sovereignty, except the foreign affairs were under British control. On 1941 to 1945, there was Japanese colonization throughout Southern Asia. The British had succeeded in expelling the Japanese from Brunei and Cambridge and negotiated the independence of Brunei. On late 1950s and early 1960s, the Brunei government rejected to join with Singapore, Sabah, Sarawak and Malaya to form a Malaysian federation. Brunei declared a new government with the power to rule, except in foreign relations, security and defense issues. On 1962, it was happened the rebellion of the opposition party by the Brunei People's Party. With the help of the British, this rebellion was successfully suppressed. On 1967, Sultan Haji Hassanan Bolkiah Muizzuddin Wadaulah was installed as the 29th Sultan of Brunei. His Majesty agreed to become a Minister of Defence after Brunei achieved full independence with the title Paduka Sri Begawan Sultan. And the last one, on 1984, Brunei Darussalam has successfully achieved full independence on 1 January. A week after that, Brunei joined Asia.
Brunei is a small country in Southeast Asia that has a rich culture. Its culture is made up of many different things that make it special and unique. The people of Brunei are proud of their Malay heritage, Islamic tradition and royal history. They have many beautiful things to show the world, like traditional arts and crafts that are made with great skill. They make things like woven items, silverware and carvings out of wood. These things are inspired by nature and Islamic art, and they show how talented the people of Brunei are. The food in Brunei is also something to be excited about. They have a mix of flavors from Malay, Chinese and Indian cuisine that tastes amazing. During special time of celebration, they enjoy dishes like nasi katuk and kuih that are really delicious. Brunei is a place where people love to celebrate. They have festivals like Hari Raya Aidilfitri and Maulidur Rasul, where everyone comes together to show their religions and cultural traditions. The royal heritage of Brunei is also very important, and they have big events and performances to honor their history. When you look at Brunei, you can miss the beautiful mosques. They are like treasures with amazing architectures. These mosques show the deep connection that Brunei has to its Islamic traditions. In Brunei, culture is a big part of everyday life. It shapes the identity of the country and the values that people hold there. They love their heritage, celebrate their traditions, and appreciate the diversity that makes Brunei special.
Political system of Brunei. The first one is government and administration system of Brunei. Brunei is an absolute monarchy country. It is a unitary state and the Sultan has absolute and supreme power in the country. Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah is the head of state and the head of government of Brunei. As Prime Minister, His Majesty is the chairman of the Council of Ministers and is advised by several other councils such as religion, privy and legislation. The political system in Brunei is set by the constitution and is based on the Malay Islamic Monarchy (MIB). There are three components of MIB, which are Malay culture, Islamic religion and the political system under the monarchy. For Sharia law, Brunei began facing this law for criminal cases with full implementation of the system in April 2019. Next, division of administrative. Brunei is divided into 4 districts, which are Temburong, Belait, Brunei Muara and Tutong. Each district is headed by the district official and assisted by the district council. The last one is security. Brunei has a fully equipped of Royal Brunei Armed Force (RBAF). It consists of a small team of naval and air force. Brunei has extensive military relation with Singapore. Internal political issue is about the political rights. The first one, the head of government and head of state are not elected through elections. The hereditary Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah Muizzuddin Wadaulah is the head of state and prime minister and continues to hold power. Most likely, his son Prince Al-Muhtadi Billah will take over power. Next, political activity by opposition groups is very limited. The National Development Party (NDP) was allowed to register in 2005 after pledging to work as a government partner and swearing allegiance to the Sultan. The NDP is Brunei's only registered party. The last one is, the population has few avenues for benign and autonomous political participation. Members of ethnic, religious and other minority groups have few opportunities for political participation even at the local level. Village council candidates must be Muslim, and ministers and deputy ministers must be Muslim and Malay unless the Sultan grants an exception. As many ethnic Chinese in Brunei remain permanent residents and not citizens, they continue to be excluded from national politics. Women play a minimal political role at the national and local levels.
Next, the economy of Brunei, a small but wealthy nation, is a blend of domestic and international business, governmental regulation, and social programs and local customs. Brunei also utilizes the Brunei dollar. Singapore dollars and Brunei dollars have an equal exchange rate, with earnings from the petroleum sector making up more than half of GDP. It is virtually completely sustained on exports of crude oil and natural gas. The GDP per capita is large, and significant revenue from foreign investments supplements the revenue generated by home industry. With an average output of 180,000 barrels per day, Brunei ranks third among all producers in Southeast Asia. It ranks 10 in the world for liquefied natural gas production. 2022 be another difficult year for Brunei's economy. Brunei's economy has been growing slowly as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic's comeback in the first half of the year and the protracted oil and gas production interruption. Oil and gas industry revitalization initiative can assist, boost output and maximize already available assets. The manufacture of urea fertilizers has begun, and non-oil and gas industries have continued to grow strongly. Brunei economy outlooks in 2023 shows the GDP expanded by 1.9% in quarter 3 but contracted by 1.6% year-over-year in quarter 4, according to the most recent figures. While the non-energy sector rose at strong 4.3%, the oil and gas industry, which saw a 7.5% year-over-year decline in quarter 4, restrained GDP growth. Nevertheless, slower export growth and decreased government fixed investment outpaced higher private spending growth. The problem of inflation is the main economic concern in Brunei. Every nation, especially one that is developing like Brunei, is familiar with inflation. Additionally, Brunei's inflation increased as a result of the global COVID-19 outbreak. Inflation is a term used to describe a gradual rise in the average price of goods and services throughout an economy. Globally, central banks have raised interest rates as a result of consistently rising inflation. Costs associated with shipping and logistics are one of the main factors that the Department of Economic Planning and Statistics (DEPS) of Brunei noted as contributing to the price increase in Brunei. According to the Freightos Baltic Global Container Transport Index, it has been reported that the global transport cost for a 40-foot container has grown since the COVID-19 outbreak, rising from $1,342 in July 2019 to $9,806 in January 2022. Additionally, a lack of labor, the closing of commercial buildings, and industrial facilities have resulted in decreased output and delivery delays, which have an effect on the general increase in the price of goods across the world, including in Brunei. Regarding the efforts made by the government of Brunei, one of the initiatives carried out by the Department of Economic Planning and Statistics (DEPS) of Brunei is to keep track of the cost of the vital products marketed by more than 350 retail establishments in the Sultanate.
The social structures of Brunei. The majority of people in Brunei are Malays. Brunei also consists of other ethnic groups, including such as Dusun, Chinese, and Iban. With a population exceeding 415,000, Brunei is considered to have a remarkably high standards of living. The language most practiced is Malay, while English is the second main language practiced by Brunei citizens and also in their education system. Education in Brunei is completely funded by the government, which allows citizens to fully benefit from the opportunity to learn. Brunei formal school system has a 16322 pattern, which represents a year of preschool, 6 years of primary education, 3 years of lower secondary, 2 years of upper secondary education, and 2 years of pre-tertiary education. The adult literacy rate in Brunei was increasing from 92% to 97.65%. These statistics indicate promising results and demonstrate the quality of education that is implemented through Brunei's education system. The government of Brunei Darussalam continuously implements important approaches to improve the well-being and quality of life of the people as whole by improving the quality of services in healthcare and welfare assistance, such as counseling services and allowance for career providers to individuals with special needs. The social issues that facing by Brunei is the highest percentage of young unemployment. The latest rate of young unemployment was recorded there in 2022 at 23.89%. Youth ambitions and employer expectations are a few of the sources of the present problems in Brunei that have not been resolved as of yet. One important result from the focus group with young people is that they tend to be ambitious for high-ranking positions and exhibit a risk-averse mentality. The most prevalent features of career that young people in Brunei aspire to are high pay, employment stability, and status. The second source of current problems in Brunei is because of employer expectations. Many firms say that they are having trouble filling positions because of lack of qualified applicants and competent staff in certain industries. Employers are also aware that the majority of Bruneians with degrees from abroad have high skills levels, but there are no open positions that will use these qualifications. As a result, highly qualified graduates are forced to practice or use their expertise in unlicensed professions. Policy unit and departments found at least 50% of jobs offers in Brunei require at least 3 years of work experience. This is often expressed by the youth in this study and the challenges faced by the policymakers and related agencies.
Brunei, just like many other countries, is dealing with the problem caused by climate change. Being located in Southeast Asia, Brunei is particularly vulnerable to the effect of climate change. such as higher temperatures, unusual rainfall patterns, and rising sea levels. The impacts of climate change in Brunei are becoming more noticeable. The country is experiencing heavier and more frequent rain, which increase the risk of floods and landslides. Rising temperatures also lead to heat waves and longer periods without rain, which affect farming, water availability, and people's health. Brunei coastal areas are in danger because of the rising sea levels. This put infrastructure, ecosystem, and communities at risk. The damage to coral reefs and the loss of mangrove forests make matters worse by reducing natural protection against storms and erosion.
Brunei is a best country.
Brunei has diverse cultures and a lot of ethnicity.
Brunei has one of the world's highest living standards.
Brunei outshines all.